Welcome to the girls. Get all the camping stuff out. Get your sneakers ready. We're going to start going outside. If you live in an area that has 4 seasons like we do, we've been cooped up all winter. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely have a spring fever.
I don't know if we get 4 seasons. It felt like we had winter and maybe spring last year. So hopefully this year we see some sign of summer. I did a poll recently. I'm definitely, my favorite season is definitely summer. Lori, what's yours?
I have 2. I like fall and summer.
Okay.
I like the color of the leaves.
I like whatever season it is. I like when I could just throw a jacket or a little something on and run or throw nothing on. I hate having to get all bundled up with the hat and the gloves and the coat and the blah, 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 blah. It takes too long. And then if you have a dog, then you come in and you have to pick all the snow bubbles off of there, you know, the little, it's just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I just like the freedom. If I had a choice, I would live on a beach. I mean, that's
yeah,
just me.
I said you like to wear nothing. I was like, you're in the wrong state for that.
Did I say I like to wear nothing?
or I like to wear nothing, like when you go outside, but yeah,
No.
well, I know. And the other topic I was going to bring up today was, you know, now that it's spring and summer, you can kind of see the roots a little more, like the hair, you know, like if you have any gray hairs, which I do. Lori, you never dyed your hair before, did you?
No, I do have some gray hair though. So the time will be coming. The older Bella gets, the more gray hair I seem to get.
Listen, I have the perfect product for you. I don't sell it, but this product is amazing. It's a coloring stick for your roots. And Lori, if you have some no, I'm serious. The whole, because I go tomorrow, like, did you ever, like, your hair appointment falls right after something important? Well, that's me today. So you literally go in and you color the roots with this. I did the whole front of my head because I'm all gray in here. And you just put this on and look you cannot see any gray hair.
Nice.
And they have it in black. But this one is by Lange or Lang or however you say it, but I love it. It's like the medium brown or light brown. So I've been using that to get me through to my appointment on my root.
Here's a funny thing about gray hair. When I was a little bit younger, a nephew of mine said to me, he saw that his mother had gray hair and his aunt and everything. He looked at me and he said, "Aunt Debbie, why don't you have any gray hair?" I said, "Honey, blondes don't go gray, they just get blonder." And that's the good thing about having blonde hair is that even if there are some in there, they sort of like just highlight through. So, you know, but if you have kids, you're going to have gray hair because I think they take all the pigment out of your body. They suck the life out of you.
Well, that silver is really in now. So maybe I have the silver highlights, we'll call them.
I have them, but they're only on one side of my head. They're like right here. And that's the only spot. So when this falls down, you can't see them.
You're golden. I'm telling you, I'm going to get you one of these sticks. They're great.
All right. So Lori, that must be a Lasan thing. What side of your face do you sleep on? Your left side?
I sleep on the right. Yeah.
Oh, well,
on the right.
Guess what? My theory's a couple of
theories. I sleep on both sides of my face. So I'm all over the place. So my whole head should be gray at this point.
I pass out.
You can always cover them with a hat too. So I guess that's another option.
That's true.
But so that's your beauty tip 101 today on the show. Get yourself a crayon and go to town. Anyway, our guests today are from the state park. We've been there before. We've done some shows outside at the state parks, but this year, more than ever, people are looking for things to do. I know last year with the pandemic, you couldn't even find a canoe to buy and a kayak because people were outside. They were going stir crazy that they were buying these products. So we have members of the state park with us. They're going to talk about the impact that the pandemic has had on the state parks, the importance of tourism in Pennsylvania. So when we come back, like my mom said, get ready. We're going outside here in the great outdoors of Pennsylvania. Welcome back, everyone. You're watching the girls right here on SSP TV. We're Zoom this season, and right now we are happy to be outdoors virtually with Diane Madl, and she's the environmental education specialist with the local state parks in our area, which would be Hickory Run, Lehigh Gorge, and Nescapec. 3 beautiful state parks here. And Diane, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So we're excited to have you on. We're excited to talk about how people are breaking out of their homes and getting some exercise and really some peace and quiet, because everyone has been home for over a year now with this pandemic. So just fill us in on how things have been for you at the state parks over this last year.
Yeah, it's been incredible to have so many folks finding state parks for the first time and using our trails and facilities to get away from it all and enhance their well-being with the pandemic and everything. We've had an uptick in visitation this past year for sure. State parks in general had 46.9 million visitors last year, which was an increase in about 26% increase from 2019. So just a big boost. At Hickory Run State Park, we had almost 400,000 new visitors. So nearly 730,000 visitors last year alone from because of people coming out to the parks to, enhance their well-being. So the big
Diane,
increase in trail use. Yeah.
I'm curious as to what the scene is behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you at?
This is a photo of the Boulder Field, which is a national natural landmark and a state park natural area here at Hickory Run State Park. So this is where my office is today. And people come, from everywhere. And one of the big things to see here at the park is definitely the Boulder Field.
Wow,
So,
it's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Yeah.
It's about a 16-acre area of rock it's fairly flat that folks can come and visit. Yep.
Super.
Diane, I know you have some other things at the parks. We've taken part in them with our clients at the Blind Association. You've done some educational programs with us, as well as like different hikes that you've guided for us because of the clientele that we were bringing. Can you talk a little bit about some of those things that are offered at the 3 parks?
Yeah, so definitely we have all sorts of programs that we offer for the general public, for schools, for organized groups such as yourself, Scouts, and we have programs year-round at all 3 of the state parks we work at. So my coworker is going to talk a little bit about some upcoming programs that we offer, but we do have a hiking series that we do every year. We have summer programming. We have school programs, all sorts of cool events, and then programs for campers at Hickory Run as well in the evening. Now, we were sort of not able to do any programs for a while because of the pandemic, but just today we are open again to do programs from now until May 23rd. We have permission to do some programming again with some safety measures in place. We still have masking outdoors. We have social distancing, and we can take 40 or less in our groups for now, and still no indoor programming. So hopefully in the summer, maybe those restrictions will lift a little more yet, but we're at least happy to have some school or some programming ability to do now. And we've been starting to do more virtual programs. So this past winter, we weren't able to do programs in person. So we're starting to do more and more virtual offerings.
Diane, what are some of the things that people should know? Like, I am not a camper and I don't go hiking and whatever else. So what are some of the things, like, could I take my dog with me? And are there certain restrictions that we have in the park?
Yeah, so you can bring your dogs to any of the state parks as long as they're on a leash and under your physical control at all time. If you are camping, there are certain sites that you can request that are pet-friendly sites. So not all the sites are pet-friendly, but you can definitely request one that is. And, it's a good thing if you're not used to coming to a state park to check the website before you come, and you'll get some good tips on how to plan and prepare for an adventure, before you come. So what kind of things you should bring. If you're going to go on a hiking adventure, what sort of things you might want to think about before you come, and have with you water, a map, good footwear, that sort of thing. If you're going to be out longer, a snack, maybe a little windbreaker, something for the weather. So we have some really good tips on our website for each of the state parks that is good for folks to remember when they come.
How about for emergency? Do you have someone that monitors people who come in to check in that you're coming in? So there's someone sort of, is there a way that if you have an emergency that they're able to be helped?
We do have for, if you're coming for hiking, or I'm sorry, for camping, you do have to come and check in and register for your site at the park. But if you're hiking, we do have rangers that do just general regular patrol, but you can't always guarantee that somebody will be right there for you. So again, planning ahead and preparing, telling people that you're going to be somewhere where they're going to be, having a cell phone. Cell phones don't always work. So you want to have your map. You want to have, some things in place in case you can't get somebody. A lot of times we'll have people at Nescapec, and we'll have something going on, and the rangers at Hickory Run, until they come over, it's 20 minutes. And so, we do have people that are out, but it just might, be a bit until you can, it's always good to be prepared yourself as best you can for whatever might happen.
Diane, if someone isn't from Pennsylvania and they're watching the show, if you can just talk about the three parks and what some of the amenities are, because the parks really have their own beauty to it, and they offer something different.
Yeah, here in Pennsylvania, we're blessed with 121 state parks, and I think the three that we have closest to us are some of the most beautiful. Nescapec is a small day use park, so it's about 3,500 acres. We have about 15 miles of hiking trails. We have a small lake, Lake Francis, for fishing, and a walking trail. We have a nature play area, nature classroom there. And it's just a nice little park for people to get out and hike. There's not a lot of amenities there. Hickory Run, of course, is in Carbon County. We've got 361 campsites. So, and camping opens this coming weekend. So if you want to get your camping reservations, it's a good time. We have 5 camping cottages. We have a Sand Spring Lake where you can swim. We have a disc golf course. We have an orienteering course, 40 miles of hiking trails. So there's quite a bit to do here at Hickory Run. And then Lehigh Gorge starts out in Luzerne County in Whitehaven, and then goes all the way to Jim Thorpe in Carbon County, 21 miles down the Lehigh River. The rail trail follows the river. It's part of the Delaware and Lehigh Corridor, National Heritage Corridor Trail, but it's the state park through there that we manage. You can bicycle, you can whitewater boat, you can fish, hunt, bird watch, all those hiking, but most folks like to go biking there along the trail, and it's a beautiful spot right along the river.
Well, thank you, Diane. You gave us a lot of great information. I know I'm ready to pack up and go out, but stay tuned, because when we come back after this break, we're going to meet Amy Shull, and she'll give us some more great tips about camping in the great Northeast PA. As Manny Gordon always said, enjoy the great outdoors. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Girls, everyone. We're here with Amy Shull. She's an environmental education specialist with some local Pennsylvania state parks, and we're going to talk about some of the great things happening at the parks. Welcome to the show, Amy.
All right, thanks for having me.
So, Amy, you have a lot of upcoming events going on throughout Pennsylvania state parks. Can you tell us a little bit about how we can get out and start enjoying the great outdoors?
Yeah, well, we're just starting to get back into programming, in-person programming here. As you know, we've been limited to what we can offer. So we do have some restrictions, some things coming up, but we're starting to get back into, say, guided hikes outdoors, maybe some volunteer events with limited numbers. But we're also going to keep offering our virtual stuff for folks that may not be comfortable getting out and about yet. So we'll probably have a mix of in-person and online events to keep people engaged.
What do you have for little puppies and for our little doggies if you want to get out of the house and get them some exercise too?
Well, our parks are always open to pets. We just ask that you keep them on a leash and that you pick up after them so that nobody enjoys maybe anything they leave behind.
No
Yeah.
little surprise packages.
Yeah. Yeah. And some parks, not all of them, but some parks do offer dog walks. If you're interested in checking out, say, the variety of programs that we have across parks, you can go to our online calendar of events. Even if you just Google DCNR calendar of events, it'll bring you up to our state parks online calendar. And that calendar allows you to filter events for, say, topics. If you want to walk or you want to learn kayaking, you can filter for those events. You can filter for specific parks, maybe regions of the state, and it allows you to look for things we have going on across all of our 121 state parks.
Well, you brought up a topic about kayaking when you mentioned that. I have seen so many kayaks on people's cars lately.
Oh, yes.
It just seems like it's the up and coming sport. Have you seen an increase in kayaking?
Absolutely. Yeah. For parks in particular, you have to buy a launch permit. You need a launch permit if you're going to launch a kayak onto state park waters. You could also have a Fish and Boat Commission launch permit. We would accept either. And we definitely noticed an increase in sales for kayak launch permits and people coming in and asking about kayaking.
So Amy, you had talked about your starting up your guided hikes and things like that again. So talk a little bit about that. If I wanted to come out for a guided hike, is that just something for like an organization or a school could, contact you for that? Or is that something that a family could do? How could I get involved in your guided hike?
Absolutely. So our guided hikes right now, our programs are pre-registration only right now. And that's just because we have a limit of how many numbers we're allowed to accept right now. We're still, of course, under all participants and hike leaders would have to wear a face covering or a mask. So if you want to do that, you can go to our calendar of events or even call the park of who's offering a hike, and then you can register for that. So right now they're open to anybody. We'll take requests from, say, a group or an organization that may want to do a hike as long as it fits into our schedule.
Okay, so Janine and I had an opportunity to visit one of your parks before we had done a previous show there, and we were fishing. So give everybody the scoop as to where's the secret fishing hole? Where do you get the best fish?
Well, we don't have any secret fishing holes. We'll tell you exactly where they're all at. Yep.
Where are the fish biting?
Where are the fish biting? So say at Nescapec State Park, I believe that's the one that you guys visited. Lake Francis is very popular to fishing. It's a great spot for folks with kids because the water's pretty calm. As long as you have a Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission fishing license and your gear, you're good to go.
Amy, you've been there a long time working with the state parks. What have you seen over the last year of kind of like do's and don'ts that people, I know it's some people like the terminology and some don't with the new norm. So what are some safety precautions that you have in place that you will certainly keep around even when the pandemic lightens up a little bit?
Oh, sure. Well, probably the biggest thing I noticed is that people are unprepared maybe for when they come out to see us. And they are expecting maybe something different or maybe something that they read online. So my suggestion, if you're planning a trip to one of our parks, make sure you get all the information you can before you go. Go to our website, pick up our map. Our maps are online. You plan ahead. Make sure you're wearing good footwear. Maybe you're bringing water, maybe you're bringing a snack. Make sure that you are prepared for the trail that you want to undertake. A lot of people maybe think that the trails are paved or they're a little easier, but depending on the trail that you choose, it can be pretty rugged. So you just want to make sure you're wearing good footwear, you're carrying a map, you're bringing along water, and make sure that you're good to go.
Hand sanitizer, maps, bug spray.
Yeah, depending on how long you're going to be out, you want to be prepared for changing weather conditions. I mean, especially in the spring, it can be, we can still have a little cool, could be below freezing in the morning still a little bit. Same with fall, the nights can get a little cooler. So you just want to do your research ahead of time. I mean, call the park office. We'll be happy to tell you about the trail you're looking to hike and give you that information that you need. Yep. We just want people to be safe. We want them to come out and enjoy our parks, but we want them to be safe while they're doing it. Make sure you're getting information from us, say, and maybe not from a website that somebody created on their own where maybe they didn't have all the information or the correct information. It might be outdated. So you want to make sure you're getting the most up-to-date information.
Amy, tell us also about camping. There's different options for people as to what they can either bring a camper, or do they rent a cabin? Do they rent a ute? Was it called a ute? So there's so many different ways that people can pitch a tent and whatever. Tell us what about the camping experience, building a fire and having that sitting around the fireplace with the s'mores thing going on.
Yeah, we saw a lot of new campers this year. Well, you want to make sure the facilities say match your equipment. Here at Hickory Run is the only park out of our 3 that allows camping, that has a campground. We do have RV sites. We have primitive or rustic sites. So that would be for, say, a tent. We have some walk-in sites. So make sure you know if you're getting a walk-in site, that means you park your car and then you walk your gear into your site. So those, we only have a couple of those at Hickory Run, but you want to make sure if that's the site you're getting that you fully understand that you're going to have to carry all your gear into your site. Whereas most of our sites, you park your car next to your site and you're good to go. We have RV sites. We have a few that have full hookups, meaning they would have electric and sewage. Some of our sites are electric only. Tent sites, of course, you wouldn't need electric or any of that. So there's a lot of variety of different. So we don't have any yurts here. There are a few parks that do have yurts if you want that experience. We do have some cottages, but they are rustic cottages. So they can be reserved as well.
So Amy, the best way to prepare is to check out your website or call your office just to make sure you have everything you need before you get there, so you know what to expect, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, do your research. We got a lot of great information on our website. Our park staff's very knowledgeable, and we're happy to answer any questions about a trail you're thinking about hiking, or an adventure you want to undertake. So we'll help you make sure that you're best prepared for that.
Very good, Amy. Thank you, Diane, as well, for spending some time with us on the girls. Again, remember, now you can do all this virtual. So Mom, you can still go camping, glamping, I guess we'll call it virtual camping. And you can do some of these events virtual, but again, the best way to find out information, do your research, go on the websites and check out the websites, because you guys update them all the time with programs and for any season at all, winter, summer, spring, and fall. So Amy, thanks for joining us here on the program.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us here, and we'll see you next time on The Girls.